5-minute daily habits that build your baby's brain for life. Most parents are searching for the big things, the right toys, the best nursery, the perfect developmental program. And while they're searching, the most powerful brain-building tool available to them is happening in the small, forgotten gaps of an ordinary day. 5 minutes. That is all researchers say it takes. Not 5 minutes of structured curriculum, not 5 minutes of flashcards or educational media. 5 minutes of the right kind of interaction, repeated daily, and the effects on your baby's developing brain are measurable, lasting, and in some cases, irreversible in the best possible way. Here is what the science is actually telling us. The human brain is more malleable in the first 3 years of life than it will ever be again. 1 million new neural connections form every single second in the infant brain. And the single greatest driver of whether those connections build a resilient, curious, emotionally secure child is not what you buy. It is what you do, consistently, in the ordinary moments you might not even notice. There are 7 of these habits, small enough to fit inside a single 5-minute window each day, powerful enough that researchers have tracked their effects well into adolescence. Number 5 on this list is the one most parents have never heard of. It takes 30 seconds, and developmental scientists consider it one of the highest impact things a caregiver can do for early language development. Let's begin. 1. Narrate the ordinary. You are already doing things all day long around your baby, making breakfast, folding laundry, walking through a room. You are just doing them silently. Narrating your actions, out loud, calmly, to your baby, is not talking to yourself. It is building your baby's brain architecture in real time. Researchers at Stanford University studying early language acquisition found that the sheer volume of words a baby hears in the first 3 years of life has a direct, measurable impact on vocabulary size, reading ability, and academic performance years later. Not the complexity of the words, the volume, the exposure, the daily accumulation of ordinary language flowing towards them. You do not need a lesson plan. You need to say out loud, "I'm opening the refrigerator now. It's cold in here. Can you feel that? I'm getting the milk." That is enough. That narration is building the scaffolding for language, for thought, for the ability to name the world and navigate it. Talk while you work. Narrate what you see. Your voice is the first curriculum, and it costs nothing. 2. The 5-minute floor session. Put your baby on the floor. Sit with them. Get on their level, and follow their lead completely. No directing, no teaching, no introducing the right toy in the right order. Just watch where their attention goes and be present for it. Dr. Magda Gerber, founder of the RIE approach to infant caregiving, spent decades documenting what happens when caregivers allow babies uninterrupted, self-directed floor time with a calm adult simply present. What she found was consistent. Babies allowed to move, explore, and direct their own attention with a calm adult nearby developed stronger motor skills, higher frustration tolerance, and deeper attention spans than babies whose play was continuously guided or directed by adults. 5 minutes of this, once a day, is not doing nothing. It is teaching your baby that their own curiosity is trustworthy, that the world responds to their initiative, that they are capable. Sit down, be present, let them lead. That is the whole habit. 3. The face-to-face minute. This one can happen during a diaper change, during a feed, during any moment when you are already close. It requires nothing except your eyes and your expressions. Look at your baby. Let your face respond to theirs. Smile when they smile. Raise your eyebrows when they seem curious. Match the emotional shape of what you see on their face. This is what developmental researchers call affect attunement, the momentary emotional mirroring between a caregiver and infant. Dr. Daniel Stern, whose work on early caregiver-infant interaction shaped an entire generation of developmental science, identified affect attunement as one of the primary mechanisms through which babies learn that their internal emotional states are real, are visible, and can be shared. A baby whose expressions are met with a matching, responsive face learns something foundational. I exist. What I feel can be communicated. Someone sees me. That belief that one's inner world matters and can be shared is the bedrock of emotional intelligence, secure attachment, and the capacity for intimacy in adult relationships. 1 minute of genuine face-to-face presence per day. That is all it asks of you. 4. Read 1 page. Just 1. I want to be careful here because I know what it feels like to be a tired parent at the end of a long day being told to do more. So I want to be clear. I am not saying read for 30 minutes. I am not saying make it a perfect ritual. I am saying pick up a board book, open to one page, read it out loud, point to one image, and say what it is. That is it. That counts. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics, which now recommends reading aloud beginning at birth, has found that early shared reading does something specific and remarkable in the infant brain. It activates the left hemisphere language regions, it builds print awareness, and critically, it does something that screen exposure does not. It creates a shared attention experience between parent and child, where both people are looking at the same thing, at the same time, together. It is not the story that matters most in the first year. It is the experience of shared attention, the turning of pages, the sound of a word being matched to an image, the warmth of your voice around language. One page, one image, one word, daily. That is enough to start building a reader. 5. The pause and wait. Here it is, the 30-second habit most parents have never heard of. When your baby makes a sound, a babble, a coo, a vowel-shaped noise, stop what you're doing, turn towards them, and wait. Do not immediately fill the silence. Do not immediately respond with words. Pause. Hold the space. Give them time to respond to you, to add to the exchange, to take another conversational turn. This is called serve and return interaction, and the Harvard Center on the Developing Child identifies it as one of the single most important drivers of early brain development. The baby makes a sound, the serve. You respond, the return. You wait, and they serve again. What happens in that pause is neurologically significant. The baby's brain is processing. It is learning that conversation has a rhythm, that their contributions are expected, that the other person is waiting for them. Harvard researchers have documented that children who experience high volumes of serve and return interaction in infancy show stronger neural connections between the language regions and the frontal cortex, the area responsible for reasoning, attention, and self-regulation. The pause is not doing nothing. The pause is teaching your baby how conversation works at the neural level before they have a single word. 6. Sing the same song every day. You do not need a good voice. Your baby does not know what a good voice is. What your baby's brain responds to is pattern, repetition, and the emotional safety of the familiar. Research from the University of Washington Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences found that musical exposure in infancy, particularly rhythmic, repetitive songs sung by a familiar caregiver, significantly enhanced babies' neural responses to both music and speech sounds. The same neural pathways are activated. Music is speech training at a deeper level of rhythm. Pick one song. Sing it every single day. During bath time, during a drive, during the wind down before sleep. The repetition is the point. The predictability of a known melody tells your baby's nervous system that the world has patterns that can be learned, relied on, and trusted. That is not a small thing. That is the beginning of a mind that finds the world coherent. 7. End the day with stillness. The last habit is not active. It is the absence of stimulation, chosen intentionally. In the final 10 minutes before sleep, no screens, no background noise, no busy visual input. Just dim light, a calm voice, slow movement. Research from the University of Illinois following infants from 3 months of age found that babies with consistent, calm pre-sleep routines showed significantly better sleep quality, lower cortisol levels, and measurably better emotional regulation at 18 months and beyond. The bedtime wind-down routine that begins in infancy is still affecting a child's self-regulation 2 years later. The brain consolidates everything it has learned during sleep. Memory, language, motor skills, emotional processing, all of it is filed and strengthened during sleep. A baby who enters sleep from a calm, safe, predictable emotional state is a baby whose brain can do that consolidation work uninterrupted. Stillness is a habit. Teach it early. It is one of the most underrated gifts in early childhood.